Hello, my name's Robert Dean Steele. Today, we're looking at Psalm 39. Now, it's interesting that this is a psalm of David, but he's directing it to one of his choir leaders, one of his worship leaders, a guy whose name was Jonathan. Now, listen to what David says. I said, I will watch my ways and keep my tongue from sin. I will put a muzzle on my mouth as long as the wicked are in my presence. So he said, I've been observing things around me and I made a decision that I'm not going to say anything. But when I was silent and still, not even saying anything good, my anguish increased. There was a pressure that was building inside of him because he saw what was going on around him. My heart grew hot within me, and I meditated. The fire burned, and then I spoke with my tongue. You see, he saw what was going on around him, and he thought, well, I won't say anything. But then, as the righteous anger began to burn within him, and he thought about it, he says, I got to speak about it. Show me, O Lord, my life's end, and the numbers of my day. Let me know how fleeting my life really is. So David's kind of looking not only at that situation, but he's looking at his own life. You have made my days a mere handbreadth, and the span of my years is nothing before you. Each man's life feels like a breath. If you've lived a certain amount of time, you will realize how quickly time goes by, and also as life goes by. When it is a mere phantom as he goes from to and fro, he busses about and not only in vain. He heaps up wealth, not knowing who is actually going to get it. So here he's talking about, the folly of wealth and who's going to get it. Then he says, but now, Lord, when I look, what do I look for? My hope is in you. Save me from all my transgressions and do not make me the scorn of fool. So he's looked at his life and he says, Lord, you know what? My hope's in you. And save me from my own sinful nature. I was silent and I would not open my mouth, for you are the one who's done this. Remove your scourge from me. He said, I am overcome by the blow of your hand. You rebuke and discipline men for their sins. You consume their wealth like a moth. Each man is but a breath. So he's looking at life in general, and he says, wealthy men live as long as poor men. And the difference is, man's wealth will pass away, but not the goodness of the Lord. He says, hear my prayer, O God, listen to my cry for help, and do not be deaf to my weeping. For I dwell with you as an alien, a stranger, as all my fathers were. He begins to realize that this world is not his home, that there's something deeper and greater. He says, I feel like an alien, like a stranger in this land. And Jesus said, we are in this world, but we are not of this world. Look away from me, and I will rejoice again. Before I depart, I am no more. So this is both a song about the condition of life, the span of life and how quickly it goes, but how also as well we need to rejoice that one day we're going to be with the Lord. That's a great thought today. Jesus says, I go to prepare a place for you, and where I am, you shall be also. What a wonderful promise for us today. Reading through the Psalms, Psalm 39.